I posted about my stalker on Reddit. Then he messaged me. Last year, my roommate and I started doing daily outfit checks using our Ring doorbell. It was just a stupid little routine. We lived in a split-level house in the city that had been divided into 4 apartments. Our unit was the only one on the first floor. The main front door of the house didn't lock, so anyone could open it, walk inside, and reach the hallway outside our personal apartment door. Every morning, I would step outside, press the doorbell camera, introduce my outfit, and my roommate would do the same. We did it for months. It was harmless. Funny even. Then, in December, I decided I had enough clips to make a TikTok. My roommate and I were scrolling through all the old videos, laughing at our outfits, when we noticed a few missed rings from a man I didn't recognize. At first, I thought it was just some random guy at the wrong door. But then we opened the videos, and I felt my stomach drop. In the clips, this man would enter the house just moments after I came home, sometimes less than a minute after me. He would walk right up to my apartment door and just stand there. He hid his face from the camera. Sometimes he looked like he was pretending to cry. Other times, he looked frustrated, like he was angry I hadn't opened the door. Then he would leave. We checked the video history again and again, trying to make sense of it. It wasn't one time, it wasn't a mistake. He had been coming inside the building after me. I had never felt fear like that before. It wasn't a quick scare, it was physical. It sat in my chest and followed me everywhere. I stopped walking alone at night. Then I stopped walking alone at all. Eventually, I barely wanted to leave my apartment. But part of me still tried to explain it away. I lived in a city. Maybe he was homeless. Maybe he was mentally unwell. Maybe he had found something of mine. Maybe he liked my dogs and wanted to ask about them. I was trying so hard to make it anything other than what it was. So I posted the videos on Reddit and asked for advice. The title was something like, "I think I have a stalker." That post changed everything. People immediately told me I was being naive. They said this wasn't weird. This wasn't funny. This was dangerous. They told me I was being stalked. Then people started pointing out something I hadn't even noticed at first. In 2 of the videos, he was naked from the waist down. I felt sick, embarrassed, terrified. I stopped inviting people over. I didn't want anyone to know that this was happening to me. I didn't want to explain that a stranger had been following me into my own building and standing outside my door like he was waiting for me to let him in. The post got way more attention than I expected. Friends found it before I even told them what was going on. People messaged me asking if I was safe, whether I had gone to the police, and if they could share my story. Most of the messages were kind, except one. One account messaged me and said, "Please delete your post. I am not a stalker." I froze when I read it, because why would anyone say that unless the post was about them? I clicked on the profile, and there he was, the same face from the Ring videos. He had posted a video of himself talking in some Reddit community, something about soccer, I think. I pressed play, heard his voice, and my heart just sank. It was him. The man who had been standing outside my door had found my Reddit post about him and messaged me directly. I took screenshots of everything: the profile, the message, the videos, anything I could save. Then I blocked him and sent it all to campus police. They followed up with me, but because he was technically a stranger, and because he hadn't come back after that, there wasn't much anyone could do. They basically told me we had to wait for it to happen again. So I waited. And for a while, nothing happened. I stopped seeing him. I tried to move on. Then, in July, I moved into a new house. I felt free for the first time in months. I was moving in with my mom. I remember being happy that day. Actually, happy. I was walking around, unpacking, laughing, feeling like maybe the worst part of my life was finally over. That feeling lasted one day. On July 2nd, I was walking my dogs with a friend. We went around the back of the house and turned the corner toward the sidewalk. There was a person walking on the other side. Something about him immediately set off an alarm in my head. As we passed each other, only a few feet apart, he looked me directly in the eyes and smiled. I stopped walking. It was him, the man from the videos, the man from Reddit, the man who had followed me into my old building and stood outside my door. I had moved, and he had found my new house. I looked at my friend and said loudly, "That's the guy who was naked at my door." He didn't react. He just kept walking. I said louder, "That's the guy who found my Reddit post." Still nothing. His back was to me now, and I was so angry I could barely think. I yelled that if I ever saw him there again, I would hurt him. Looking back, I know that probably wasn't the smartest thing to say. But in that moment, I wasn't thinking clearly. I was terrified, humiliated, and furious. I took a picture of him and called the police. They couldn't find him that day. But on July 5th, he was back. He was sitting across the street from my house, waiting. My roommates saw him and took a picture. This time, the police found him. They told him to stay away. He didn't. He came right back to my house. The police issued an emergency protection order and a warrant for stalking. He was arrested, then he bonded himself out. And the same day he got out, he showed up again. After that, another warrant was issued for felony stalking and violating the protection order. Even after being arrested, even after being told to stay away, even after the court was involved, he kept coming back every single day. He didn't show up to the hearing for the protection order and stalking charges, which put him in contempt of court. A bounty hunter had to find him. Right now, he's sitting in jail. Our court date is next week, and I still can't fully believe any of this happened. I can't believe a stupid Reddit post helped identify the man who had been stalking me. I can't believe he found that post and messaged me. I can't believe I moved, and he still found me again. For months, I felt like talking about it would make it worse. But being silent made me feel even more trapped. So I'm telling this story now because maybe someone else needs to hear it. If you think someone is following you, don't explain it away. Don't tell yourself you're being dramatic. Don't wait until it gets worse. Because sometimes the person standing outside your door is not confused. Sometimes they know exactly whose door it is.